Good evening, guys. I think let me start with my introduction first. So my name is Mitesh. I work for an edtech startup, Coding Nest. So topic for today's meetup is for those football-loving friends. Today we will doing that player and team analysis, as well as we'll be working on for that value prediction. So for value prediction, so we'll working on a machine learning algorithm for doing that prediction part of it. So this project is basically a data visualization project, and it's a part of our like machine learning course. But we thought that let's put up in that meetup session so that everyone can enjoy this basically course. So here we won't be working much on basically on data visualization part, but here we will be see so what all stages one has to do it in while working on a project on basically on research environment. So research environment basically on your Jupyter notebook. So that's the task normally done by a data like a scientist. So first we will going to start with like a data reading part of it. Then second part is like data cleaning part, which we call it as a preparation part. Third step is basically your exploratory data analysis, where we do that both data analysis as well as data visualization part of it. Fourth state is basically it's a feature engineering part. Basically you play with the features and you want to see say you want to get more features, or you want to convert any one particular type data type to another data type. So this is what we call as a feature engineering. Next step is basically feature selection part. Basically, say for an example, we have a number of features available, and what is the impact? Basically, if we do a sub selection of the features, rather than selecting a complete features, this is what we call as a feature selection. And later words, we will do that modeling part. As a whole and soul, this project is mainly on data visualization part, but we will try to complete a complete life cycle which is required for a research environment, basically for a data being a data scientist. Okay. For today's code, let me share it again. So this is available under your github.com/codingness/FIFA 2019. So let me share you the link. Okay. So this video would be recorded and it will be available under your YouTube. So we have a channel over there. So please subscribe on this channel. So this will be available. So all the meetup sessions are getting recorded and it will be available under that YouTube channel. Okay, so let me start with this project. Okay, so hopefully I think those who have basically accepted this invite must have seen this FIFA 2019, and basically this project is like inspired from FIFA 18 2018, which is previously available. I think let's see that what all the tasks available over there. I think everyone is familiar with them. Okay. So basically, first thing is make your dream team. A dream team is basically, say for an example, so which we will discuss, basically a manager style. Say for an example, if somebody like a Italian team like Inter Milan, so they normally play with like three defense, five midfield, and remaining plays they play in the forward. Like Barcelona, they normally play like 4-3-3 position. Now Chelsea like is playing 4-4-2. It depends on managers to manager what playing style they wishes to this. So basically on the basis of that playing style, we have to create a dream team. So analyze which club or national team has the best rated player. I think that's one of the good thing. Third is basically assess the strength of a team at a particular positions. So which we will discuss. Maybe some of you guys not familiar with these terms, but we will discuss basically playing positions. Analyze the team with best dribbling speed. So correlate between the age and overall rating, correlate between age and nationality, correlate between age and potential. So basically, these are the features available in the data set. Basically, here we have to make a relationship. All these tasks are basically a data visualization part of it. But let's see, say for an example, you are a manager. Think yourself as a manager. Say for an example, Frank Lampard, who is the manager of a Chelsea team. He wants to buy a like a forward player. So recently, he has buy a player called I think Timo Werner. I think anyone remembers? Yeah, so he bought recently Timo Werner. He's a Chelsea. He's plays for He plays for basically a team. Now he's basically bought by Chelsea. Basically depends on what that particular value that what that particular value that basically player presents, and what should basically one should have to buy that particular player. In the same way, if you see the lot of the transactions which happen previously, so all these basically on the basis of that value which managers sees. So basically it's coming from that predictive modeling part of it. So basically we will go till that level so that we can make it a complete project, and laterwards we will see how to make it like in a development environment laterwards. Okay, I think let's get started. First, let's analyze the data set. Okay, so basically, so this is the link. Okay, let me share this part. Yeah, Asta. I think Jais is the another player which they have bought. I think mid-year, and now Werner. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I think this is the player. Yeah. So this is the project which we are working on. Okay, let's see this data set which is available. Data set which is available. So even this data set folder is been available on your basically GitHub folder. Okay, so let's discuss the data set so that we get comfort basically with this. So this is the most important step in every of the project. The more you have a familiarity with the data, the more you can come up with an exploration part, or you can build up a better project over there. Now currently we haven't learned so far, but let's see so what all analysis or analysis we can draw out from basically from this data set. First, basically, this is looks like basically it's an index. So going ahead, whenever we are reading it, basically here we are using a Python PyData ecosystem. So basically, while reading it, we will make sure that we will take this as a first column. So we have an ID available. So ID is basically useful whenever we are creating like a web app. If say for an example, we wanted to search when we enter like ID, then basically that player comes up. Name, I think it's like basically it's like a categorical column, and it's all have that individual like values available. Age, I think that's the again one more problem there. Basically there we have to make a correlation between age versus overall, or age versus the potential. So we have to make this kind of an analysis there where age comes into the picture. Photo, I'm not sure currently it makes any sense. If it doesn't make any sense, we can basically drop this particular feature as well. Nationality is important. Basically if you have to find that the players playing position best playing position as per that nationality. Flag, again I think for that currently I think it doesn't matter until or unless we are basically drawing something. I think these two features we can easily drop off. Overall and potential, anyone knows what's the difference between overall and potential? Anyone?
हम्म, आ रही आ रहा नहीं 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 बोल पाएगा
Okay, I think let's see this apart. Overall and potential. Basically, overall is like overall. Basically, the player can perform, and this is the potential. Basically, potentially the player which can perform to that particular level. Say for an example, if we notice basically like for Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, both overall in potential are the same. But if you see that Neymar Junior who plays for PSG, so basically his overall is 92, but he can perform a step more, which is 93. So basically the players during their young age have a lot of potential, but they didn't have performed overall. So which we will see that basically a trend basically between age and overall and potential. These are the clubs which the players are currently playing with. So that's the difference. Basically, their nationality like Argentina and Portugal, and they are playing for a different clubs like FC Barcelona and Juventus. So recently, I think Cristiano Ronaldo shifted from Real Madrid to Juventus. I think 2 years back. So club logo, I think again it doesn't matter, so we can drop off basically. So the values and the wages, these are given in the euros. The difference over here in this basically this is this wages is basically per week wage. So it's like euro 565,000. So that's the wage of that's the wage of basically Messi, and that's the wage for Cristiano Ronaldo, 405,000 euros per week, and that's the traded value. What is this traded value? So that's the important feature over here. It's basically traded value. Say for an example, as rightly mentioned by Asta. Yeah. So say for an example, so they have recently bought Jaik, which is like a Moroccan player, and they have bought it for like 37 million euros. Similarly for Werner, they bought it for like 53 million euros. So what is it basically? Is as per their contract or as per their basically the values which managers they normally bought it for, like Borussia Dortmund, now the hottest property like Sancho, so which is worth like euros 100 million. So basically, how this figure comes, basically this we can easily go for data. Basically, we can go for this predictive analysis one. So this could be the feature available. Again, overall potential, maybe this could be a feature available which we can do for that predictive analysis. As such, clearly in this project there is nothing special mentioned which feature to set for that predictive analysis, but we can select either a overall, either we can select a potential, or I think which I see that most likely could be a value. Wage, I think again wage, I think it's one of the feature available. Special, I think special is the total points for all those feature available, so which we will discuss. Preferred foot, basically left or right, left or right, there are two features available. So left is the preferred foot, but what is that on that weak foot, basically on that right foot? So what is that this for? If you notice, basically for this Neymar Junior, right and left, both he can play equally well. So that's that's the point. I think very few players, I think he's very few players who can play basically from like naturally this players like David Silva, who plays left, but basically he can perform very well on from his right leg as well. So that's what is international reputation. Basically this is the reputation of a player, reputation of a player, that's for that marketing contracts and everything. Skill moves, basically on so these are basically like a categorical columns. So these are basically like ordinal columns available. Again, weak foot, again it's like an ordinal column available, 1 2 3 4 5. We have a skill moves that are available. Work rate depends on basically work rate. So this is during the course of the match, how that person behaves, like medium, and during that match, I think like high low. So during that this is how that the nature of that Cristiano Ronaldo. So for Neymar, high medium, high, I think there is a one player, I think Kevin De Bruyne, who plays for Manchester City. So he plays with the same work rate for that both the halves. Body type, again, so basically these are like some values are available which is not that body type are there, but normally in such basically like lean, normal, stocky, and so on and so forth. Real face, basically in during that FIFA there, which is currently like 21 available. Basically real face or some other face available. So I think which we can probably can ignore for it. Okay. So positions, so which we will discuss. There are some playing positions which are available. For this case, Messi likes to play with like a right forward. This Cristiano Ronaldo likes to play like as a central striker. And this is for Neymar Junior. Basically likes to play for left wing goalkeeper, which is basically your United goalkeeper, De Gea. Jersey numbers, I think, which we can ignore. Basically joined which particular year, until or unless we are doing some contract wise calculation, or we are doing that time series analysis, I think, which we can basically convert it into like a year or a date time column, and we can use format. Loan from, I think that's one of the feature. Basically, say for an example, a player is playing from one basically club, and he's been loaned to other club. Anyone remembers any player which has been a good player which has been loaned to other club? Anyone knows that example? Yeah, Atharv, I think yeah, that's the good point. I think Coutinho, basically he plays for your Barcelona. He's been loaned to Bayern Munich. I think that's the good example available. Even now, currently there is no buyer basically who is looking for to buy that Coutinho. Okay, I think thanks. Yeah, Atharv. Contract valid until, I think that's the best part. Basically here we can do that. How much time one particular player has spent, say for an example, see this 2004 till 2021, I think 16 years of a time stamp I think he will be going to spend in Barcelona. Height and weight again, is it matter? I think not sure, but normally for like goalkeepers they require it basically for like a more above height than normal, then I think it's good for like basically it's like a good practice. So this might be like a feature which we have to take into account. Now there are few features available as per that playing positions. Basically, when the person plays for as a central striker, let's see what is 88 plus 2. So 88, let's suppose during the start of the season, say consider January, during the end of the year plus 2. So here it can vary till 88 till 90. So basically, if you want, you can do that plus part and you can take it as a 90 as well. So there is no, or if you can skip, or you can take 88 as well. Similarly, for this, this as a left striker, right striker, left winger. So basically here, basically different this, basically different matrix is being given for a particular player for different other positions. Okay, this. Okay, now coming back to the next features available. Crossing, finishing, heading accuracy, what it is important. Say for an example, why basically Cristiano Ronaldo is popular because he has the very heading accuracy, as well as he can make a jump much higher as compared to others. So in this perspective, I think he will get much higher numbers as compared to this, but there might be other as well. Finishing skills, I think like everyone knows, I think like he has the best skills available, means uh, this Messi, crossing skills and everything, so and so forth. So they are like these are the skills for that players like. So we have a crossing, finishing, heading accuracy, short passing. So basically those who plays for basically for midfield positions, I think those have that good short passing skills. Volleys, between the players, dribbling skills. Basically, if you notice, see that for that Messi, why he is this popular? Because he has a very good dribbling speed. Second, again, the good dribbling is basically for that Neymar Junior. Curve, which is more important. Again, here we do not have that old players available. If it is like Beckham, I think then it makes maybe a more probable comparison. But I think if you see that basically curve part of so the basically during that making a free kick or a goal shoot, basically what is that curve during that momentum he makes. I think that's what this. Okay, then long passing, ball control, acceleration, sprint speed, agility, all these basically it's a part and the parcel of each and every player. Reactions, balance, short power, jumping. If you notice this jumping skill of basically Ronaldo, it's the highest as compared to others, Okay. As compared to others. Okay. Now coming to this stamina, strength, aggression, interceptions. So interceptions basically for those defensive players, they have the good interceptions. Positioning, vision. So vision basically this is an important skill for being a like a good football player. Basically, even this skill could be a better for that like a central attacking midfields as well. Those who normally give the pass to that forward players. Penalties, composer, markings, standing tackle, sliding tackle, basically mainly skills for like midfield or defensive. Now these skills basically are related to the goalkeepers only. And last, I think that's the release clause. Now if you notice, three columns are there, basically three columns are there basically who has a value like a wage, wage is one, value is one, and the release clause. So if you notice, basically release clause is something. So that's the important this. See, the release clause is 226.5 million, but what is that? Basically, the person has a value. Uh, uh, so where is that value? Okay, so value is just 110.5 million. See, on the contract it's just twice, but here the value. So that's the difference. So what basically all the clubs normally look for. So as per contract, say for an example, what Timo Werner and Zeiss has been bought. These are bought on the contractual values. So these players are not bought on the basis of their value. So this is basically looks like a more likely a predictive target which we can thought of, which we can thought of. So let's get started with this. Basically, this is the only data set available. So I think some around observations are 18,000, and features I think somewhere around 80 plus the features are available, and mainly on data visualization part. Let's try to make it basically covering that complete life cycle, and let's try to predict this value part. So let's try this part. Okay. Anyone has any questions before we jump off? Okay, so basically, so here, basically, yeah. So basically, yeah. So this is the project basically on the basis of FIFA 2019. Currently 2020 and 21. These 21 is basically EA is not yet available. 2020 still the project is not available, but somebody has created this 2019. This is on the base of official 2018, which is coming from that EA Sports. Okay. Okay, so this data is extracted from that your Kaggle. I think let's make a start. Okay, okay. First part is basically it's your basically how to fetch the data, basically how to read the data. Currently, it's a simple CSV file. Let's use that simple libraries basically in order to read data part. So import numpy as np, import pandas as pd. So this is basically libraries will be used for a data analysis part. Later words for data visualization part, will be working on matplotlib.pyplot and seaborn. Basically, matplotlib provides the same feature of your MATLAB. Seaborn provides your basically wrapper on top of MATLAB. Plotly, basically, it has a good interactive features, and it is basically on that web. We can easily plot an interactive plot. Percentage matplotlib inline, basically to create an inline plotting of it, inline plotting of it, inline plotting of it. Atharv, the code is available under github.com slash coding nest slash FIFA 2019 slash FIFA 2019. Okay. Okay, yeah, I think let's make a start. Okay, okay. I think import warnings. So warnings dot a simple filter. Basically, this is just for ignoring that pandas the warning. This is for basically to get all the features from that pandas data frame, to see all the features from this. And this is how we are reading from basically from data.csv, which we have downloaded from FIFA 19 project. Only thing which we are making sure basically while reading this particular data set, making sure this first column has been treated as a index. First column has been treated as an index. So here index call is equals to 0. Index call is equals to 0. Okay, FIFA dot head again. If we see the data, we have an ID, name, age, photo, nationality, till every features has been able to properly able to this release clause. Okay, now first step which we normally go for it, it's a data cleaning part. So we have to look, is there any step for an imputation activity which we can they can do it. So imputation activity which we can do it. I think let's try this imputation activity. So imputation activity is basically for some some features, some observations from that features are missing, then somehow let's try to fill it. Okay, so basically there are multiple strategies are available, but let's see that a simple one as such we are not doing any such fancy over here, but let's try this. Okay, so for dot info. Okay, So if you see that ID again, it's like 118,207 rows. Name, age, photo, nationality, flag, overall potential. If you notice club, so club has basically it's like a 17,916 observations are available, but the feature is like object. So we have to come up basically an imputation technique how to fill this club. If we cannot relate it, basically it's good, let's mark it like unknown club, since maybe there are some players who are not contracted under a particular club, so and so forth. Club logo value again, if you notice, I think even we can fill it out but using a club logo since it's already available. But okay, let's do this. So value, wage, yeah, so value, wage, we have basically special, I think it's 18,207. Preferred foot, I think if you notice, it's basically it's an object, and it has only two values available like left and right, so we have to come up with a strategy for imputation basically to fill it out these values. International reputation, since it's like float 64, it's like 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.50, 5.0. Either we can fill by using mean and median. Weak foot, again it's like a float 64, we can use it mean and median. Skill moves, again basically again we it's like a few values are empty. It has to be 18,207, but actual values are 18,159, so some values we have to fill it out. Similarly for like work rate, body type, real face, again there might be a few features which we have to drop off, like which we discussed during that starting. Basically we can drop off like we have a club logo, we can drop off photo, we can drop off like flag. Basically this is not required as such. Similarly like we have real face, this is currently not required because EA normally it's able to get that real face of that particular player or not. Positions, if you notice 18,1047 positions are available, it's an object, so somehow we have to fill it out. Similarly jersey number, I'm not sure jersey number will make any difference, so basically we can drop this particular feature. Joined, that's the good part, basically joined and contract, we can relate basically both of them, but we don't know how to fill this basically. So basically it's an object. See how, let's try to convert in some date time, and let's try to convert and let's try to fill this contract valid until, again we cannot do this. Loaned from, as we know, majorly players are playing for their own clubs. Some, like as mentioned, like a third, I think Coutinho, which has been like loaned from Barcelona to Bayern Munich. So there are very few players out of this basically 18,000, and so on and so forth. Weight and height, as we discussed, basically that's add that flexibility and everything, so that's a good feature available basically. Rest all features basically till ls till basically from 27 till rb, for RB, basically all these basically features, basically it's related to that playing a player playing positions and what is that potential he will going to present. Basically, it's all depends on your natural liking skills. Like for Cristiano Ronaldo, like for Neymar Jr. So we're going to consider only those things. Okay. So now rest 53 till basically all these are like player characteristics again, but a lot of things are missing basically but here we are good basically, since it's like float 64, we can easily able to fill impute by using mean and median like values. So all these still are goalkeeper reflexes. And as we discuss, so there is a wide difference between release clause and that value part. So that's what that important which our topic is basically. We'll see that basically value. So that's what its our like prediction feature would be. Anyone has any questions before on that feature set before we jump off? Okay, now let's get started with our, so this is how we are able to read the data, and this is how we have analyzed the feature. Now we have a fair idea basically related to the data part of it. Now basically let's try to play with it. Let's try to play with it. So how many features are available? So basically it started from 0 till 87. So here 88 features are available, and the number of observations are basically 18,207. So let's see the shape of this. So let's see the shape of this. It's 18,207 till 88. So that's the shape of that like a matrix. Basically, it's a fairly small data set available, but it's good in terms of basically to analyze the data as such. Okay. Okay, now before to start with, I think it's good to drop off that eliminate the columns which we are not taking into analysis. So we have basically IDs. Currently, we are not making any web app basically for ID, photo, flag, club logo, real face, jersey number, loaned from. So basically these features we are not like analyzing, making an analysis of it. So we are probably dropping off access is equals to 1, in place is equals to true. So all the changes will be incorporated in the data in that pandas data frame itself. Okay, next part is your data cleaning activity. So data cleaning activity. So here we have to make our strategy for your numerical columns. Since basically there are 4 data types could be possible. Like we can have numerical, we can have categorical columns, we can have a date time columns, and we can have a text column. So currently, which I can see, we have a 3 data types available: numerical, categorical, and date time. So let's do that first activity for that numerical features. So here I haven't done anything special, just I have replaced it by its mean values. Okay. So I have done it, say for an example, international reputation dot fill any method. So here we are taking its mean value. Again, there is a like sometimes basically if we do that analysis, we can do a lot of analysis. Basically, sometimes we normally fill it by using a median value. Sometimes we'll fill it by a standard deviation value. Sometimes we see that what is the outliers and we fill with a particular value. So basically there are a lot of ways to do that numerical data cleaning part. Again, if somebody wants to go for it, I think it's basically a video is available over there. Basically data science life cycle feature selection part of it. So there we have done a bit over there. So basically there you can go and see this part. Okay. Coming back to the project. Okay, so here we have done skill moves. Basically skill moves basically here we have done a mean part of it, weak foot, crossing, finishing. So all these basically data is coming from that basically all these features basically coming from that player positions. And here we have tried to fill these values. Okay. Okay, now we have done a bit on this floating point 64. Now we have a few features are available. Few features are available which we have to work it out. Say for an example, we have a feature like here, basically like preferred foot. Preferred foot. So let's see. So we have to take one by one each and every object column, and we have to come out with a strategy in order to fill it out. So let's try this one by one. Okay, again, later words, maybe you can go and see this apart. Again, 3 columns are there basically related to value, wage, and a release clause. Why it is important? Basically, since we're going to forward, we will be taking that value as our predictive analysis. So it's not necessarily every manager has to give that release clause amount. Basically, one can get that on the basis of its current value. So which we have seen during that Messi. So who is half of its release clause the value. Okay. So we have done a small. We have written a function. Say for an example, euros. So we are replacing that euro with empty. If it is a million, so we are just multiplying it with a million. If it is 1,000, we are multiplying by 1,000, and rest we are returning out these particular values. So this particularly we will be applying on 3 features: value, wage, release clause. Basically, it has some empty values as well. Since this value is now after this conversion, it's converted into a floating point number. So we are replacing that remaining values with dot mean values. So in this way, we are able to work it out for 3 features, basically for value, wage, and release clause. Anyone has any questions on this?
Not on this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. On this, let's discuss this feature. I think. Let's try this. What is instance method? Basically, see this part. So we have like a FIFA value. We are using dot apply method. So basically, there are two methods available. We have a dot apply method and another is a dot map method. Dot apply method is normally used for data frames, and dot map method is basically used for your basically on Panda series. So lambda. So here we are using basically a lambda expression. So here we are getting each particular row and we are basically making a basically a imputation. Basically here we are making a call to this function. So this method will be applied to each and every row. So here value. So here we are passing only one feature. So one feature will go value. So is instance method, it's normally check what is the data type of that particular feature. So that's how we normally check using is instance. So that's how we have used. If that value is a string, then only you can do these particular operation. Else not. Basically, it's just an additional check basically for checking out for data type. Athar, does this answer your question? Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Actually, when I was applying that lambda method and removing with means doing substring and multiplying with 1 lakh and 1000, so it was not working. Means it was giving error.
Yeah.
So
So
is that
yeah, so maybe if you try this particular clause, basically if is instance. So most of the time, say for an example, say for this example, value and wage, it will definitely work because there is no values are empty. But release clause, basically some values are empty. So for those values, basically the data type is basically it's a floating point number. And for floating point numbers, replace method doesn't work because it's basically from your string method. So that's why for a simplicity, just to avoid those null values from release clause, so we have added this particular clause. Otherwise for null values, so this is how we are doing that imputation technique. Basically for this is how we are trying to impute these values by its mean values. Udyan, does
okay?
this answer? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but when I was applying with value and wage, replace was working, but that multiplication was not working. It was giving error. That means it was not able to multiply actually.
Okay, maybe if you can try now, I think it will definitely work. Oh, again, one more thing. Basically, since you are doing that multiplication part of it, see again you have to use this basically conversion. So basically, so you have to use a float basically in order to cast from a string to a float and then multiply by this. So maybe if you try this casting part, I think then definitely should work. Basically, there you can basically easily able to multiply it.
Okay, okay, I'll try again.
Yeah. Okay, next part is basically the missing values is
I have
basically,
a question on imputation.
yeah, go ahead.
So when you will apply mean on everything, so let's say for each column, in case it's blank, so we
Correct,
have 10 blank columns. So
correct.
all the 10 blank columns will be updated with the mean value.
No, actually, yeah, basically we are working on each and every feature. So here, like here column, we call it as a feature. So basically, because your machine learning algorithm doesn't work if some values are empty. So basically, first technique we have to work. Even the data visualization won't work a better way. Basically, if the values are empty, so somehow we have to fill it. So that's the first step we normally do that imputation part of it. So if some values are empty, then we have to think what the values we have to fill it out. So that's why we normally stress more on the data understanding part of it.
No, so in case we are using mean here, so
Correct,
whatever is the mean of say 10 records, let's say mean is
correct,
10 for
correct,
all the
correct,
records.
correct,
So all the blank values will be updated by 10.
correct. That's correct.
But what if that value is incorrect?
Correct. So that's what. So basically, that's what. There are a number of strategies available. So again, if somebody has to see, so there are a number of strategies available. So you can go to this videos. So we have discussed lot many strategies over there. Basically, where to fill those median values, where to fill basically an arbitrary values. So each and every feature you have to analyze and then you have to apply a strategy.
Okay,
So that's how you
okay,
have to work it out.
okay. Thank you.
Yeah. I think that's a good question. I think why to fill every time with the mean values. Basically, sometimes you can fill with like mode value, median value, or some arbitrary values. I think that's what basically it depends on each. So every time you have to create a data visualization of each and every feature, and then you have to come up with a technique in order to fill it out those values. Okay. Now, for this club and position, I think there is no substitution which basically we can do it. So basically here we are doing it with no club and unknown. Basically, somehow, basically we cannot make any this false imputation part. So it's a good practice basically for categorical columns use no club and unknown, no club and unknown. So let's try with some of the other things. There is a one more column available called joined column, so in which year that particular person has joined. So it's a good practice basically that to convert into a string object, or basically to convert into a basically like a date time object. So this joined column is basically used basically to make a like a year of a stay by a particular year. So what is that potential, what is that like he performed when the year of like he joined from one club to another club. So all those analysis basically we can do it over here. Okay, or year wise analysis of the player. So basically this is can be used for the time series analysis as well. So here basically we are basically so here we are converting basically here we have written a simple like a function. So here we are using that first time what we are doing it. So we are replacing all those none with the zeros. Then we are applying basically clean date basically function. Basically here we are extracting basically let's see this part. So here we have year. Yeah. So basically here we have a feature July 1, 2004. So basically here we are ignoring that date and that month part. Here we are only taking into this consideration part of this year, 2004. So that's what that clean function we have written. Simple clean function we have written. So basically after this, basically all those values will be appended with a year, not that month and date. Next, contract valid until, I think that's the that's what we discuss. Basically here we are trying to convert into a date time. Here we are trying to get a year as well. Say for an example, if we have to do a comparison between joined and year. So basically here we can do this. So this is how we have come up with a new feature year basically. And contract valid, if the values are empty, then we are substituting with not available because we do not have that particular data. So that's how we are using it. Height and column again, that's a strategy which we have to come out basically either way you have to come out with a standard numbers. Basically the currently height and it's like 5 feet 7 inches, you can convert into a centimeter. 159 lbs, basically you can remove that lbs part. So this is what we call as basically let's try this data cleaning activity. Let's do that for height and weight. So that's what we have written a simple methods for it. So this is the method basically for conversion of height into centimeters. And this is the method which for removing that LBS part of it. Okay. Now let's target some more features like work rate. Basically work rate is basically during that first half, second half, first half, second half. If you notice, basically value counts, the maximum is medium, medium. Basically, again, this is one of the strategies being used. If some values are empty, then whichever that maximum is medium, medium. So try to fill it out with this. So this is one of the strategies being used. For preferred foot, if we see majorly the preferred foot is like right if any values are empty. So basically here we can this. So these are the strategies basically we are using for the categorical columns. For like value counts for body type column. So body type column normally majorly lies in between normal, lean, stocky. Rest of the data is basically for a particular player like Courtois, I think he's a goalkeeper who's switched from Chelsea to Real Madrid. Real Madrid. Akinfino, I don't know. Cristiano Ronaldo, Juventus, Messi, Barcelona, Shakiri, Liverpool, Neymar, PSG. Okay, so basically here we do not have any idea. Basically here either we can see Coutinho, Messi, Neymar. So here we can make it like a normal or this, or we can make another category as well. So we can make another category as well. So that's what we have done it over there. Messi we have substituted with lean, Cristiano Ronaldo normal, Neymar and Courtois lean. Those who know this, if those who do not know this, they can make another the feature altogether. Basically it's not good practice to have a high cardinality over there. So it's a good, let's club this all this together. Otherwise it will be otherwise it would be like unnecessarily a lot of cardinality, a lot of cardinality. So it's a good practice basically to club all these together. Okay, last part, basically a small conversion which we have done basically for these columns, I think, which we have almost see this part. So basically for LS, left striker, central striker, right striker, there is a like arithmetic operation is given. Say for an example, start of the year, end of the year. So that's the basically start of the year, end of the year, start of the year, end of the year. So that's the rating basically. So here either you can take 88 or you can take 2, or you can do that summation. 88 or 2 means a summation of this. So basically I have done that summation part of it. I have done that summation part of it. So that's what we have done it. Okay. So basically what we have done, basically here we are doing that summation part of it, all those skill columns. So here we have done that, apply that particular function. Since it is will be converted into integer values, then rest remaining that empty values we have converted, we have filled it with 0 0.0, 0 0.0. So this is how we have done the data cleaning activity. Let's see how the data looks like after this. Maybe I think if those it goes very fast, I think please see this one more time. I think notebook, if you see this part, info part, name, age, everything has been filled out, everything has been filled out. So that's the first activity which everyone has to they can work it out. Basically if you see, every feature has been filled out. So that's what we call as an imputation technique, data cleaning, or a data preparation step. Okay. Next activity basically which will work on exploratory data analysis. Exploratory data analysis, majorly we do that all kind of a data visualization. Here there are n number of a data visualizations are possible. I have seen many of the students data visualization. I think that's all, I think, excellently well. But here we have done a bit basically just to give you an idea. Just to give you an idea, rest, let's do that a project deka part. I think that predictive analysis part of it. Okay. So let's do that exploratory data analysis part. Basically, it's a good basically to take basically one x-axis a categorical column, and let's try to plot that number of players for each and every categorical variables. So let's see what all categorical variables are available. What all categoricals this? So we have a first nationality, we have a club, we have a preferred food, we have a work rate, we have a body type, we have a position. Basically these are the categorical columns are available. So it's a good practice, basically use we can use a line plot, we can use a bar plot, we can use if the data set is small enough, we can use a pie chart, we can use basically a tree map. Now that's a multiple options are available. Here we can work it out with simple matplotlib, we can work it for seaborn libraries. So here we have tried to do a mix of it. So here we have tried to work with both seaborn and this seaborn and plotly, just to get an interaction and more on scientific plotting. So let's try with this plotly. I think will give you a better this. Okay, so here we have written basically a small function basically to plot a pie chart for each and every categorical values. Just see this part. If anyone faces any problem, just let me know. So this is basically we have used pie plot. In order to create a pie plot, it requires two things: labels as well as labels and a data part of it. So data part we have created for each and every features, and labels basically so what values which we wanted to which we wanted to display over there. So basically, for all the categorical columns, basically we are calling this. So this is our data frame. This is basically is the field which we are basically looking for. So first we will look for nationality, club, preferred food, work rate. What is this values? Basically, if you wanted to take something out of it, basically that's an additional feature in that pie chart. Basically, that particular angle to take a pie out of it. So that's how much percentage. That's like in between 0 till 1. Uh, then body type and position. So let's try to execute this. So I think this will give a bit idea. Basically, this will give idea since we are using basically data plotly. So it will give you a nice visualization. So if you see Brazil. All the data set currently the Brazil has 827 number of observation, for France 914, Argentina 937. Maximum I think is being contributed from England. So even from EA data, basically the maximum potential which that has this country has, basically it's from that England. If you notice again from that age wise, I think again the potential for this England country is much more as compared to others. Then we have a Germany, we have Spain, we have Argentina. Somewhere down the line, again where we are. So we are in that others category. Means India is in an others category. Okay, because we have a we have a small percentage of players, so it's like less than zero point 0.5. So we have taken into that others category. Okay, next part, number of players by club. Number of players by club, basically number of players by club. So others, basically see that that's the important part. Others, basically here, if you notice, like others like less than 0.5%, no club, basically this. So here we have taken basically all the clubs, and these are the persons basically having the no club available, no club. So these are the persons which are not anytime contracted, but some club logos are available, so we might be fill out this data as well. But let's try. Number of players by the preferred foot, again we have seen, again it's like a binary binary data available. So right is the maximum, basically like 76.9%. And there's a pie chart. The best part with the pie chart is basically if you have a less number of a categorical, we can easily display it. Otherwise we can use a tree map as well. Number of players by work rate, so maximum is like a medium, and so on and so forth, so on and so forth. Number of players by body type, again like we have seen normal, lean. So these are all categorical columns are there. So here you are clubbing basically like 0.1 or 0.5% to the others bracket. Last one, number of players by position. Basically number of players by position, I think that's the interesting fact. If you notice, basically the maximum percentage of the data is available from strikers and then goalkeepers. Again, that's the very this trend, it's very I think very comprehensive if somebody analyzes it, is it. So basically why the strikers are more valued as not compared to basically goalkeepers, but that's not the true. I think if you notice, Chelsea, which recently they bought a player, I forget, Kappa. I think he is bought with I think 71 million euros dollars. Again, there is a again. I think Liverpool bought a good player. I think Manchester City bought a good goalkeeper. Again, but shockingly, the strikers are given more like value as compared to this goalkeepers. But there are lot many players are available in this goalkeeper categories as well. Then you are a CB. Anyone knows what's the full form of CB? Anyone knows CB? It's your central back. Yeah, yeah, it's your central back, where your more popular players. Yeah, 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 thanks. Yeah, I think where your more popular players. I think if you see that Liverpool captain, PSG captain. So these are all like central backs are there. Central back players are there. Again, we have a central midfield, we have a left back, we have a right back, we have a right midfield, we have a left midfield, we have a central attacking midfield, we have a central defense midfield. So we have like all those positions. Basically, we can easily able to relate it out. We can easily. So this is how we are doing that categorical analysis. Categorical analysis. Okay. Next part, which is majorly I wanted to see. So currently we are doing just like a data visualization activity. The best thing which we can do it, making a dream team of it. Dream team is basically like say for an example, being as a manager, you have to think what the positions basically 4-4-2 or so and so forth position. I think let's discuss these positions first. I think which makes some more sense. Now let's see the distribution of ages for each players. I think that's very important trend you will see. Basically the normally if you're going to see that value and that age relationship, so basically the young players are given more value as compared to like older players and so on and so forth. But let's see the distribution part of it. So distribution is basically it's a univariate distribution, univariate distribution. So here we have used a count plot basically for it. So on the number of population, number of players on that 16, 17, 18. But if you notice, there is a like a number of players from 21 till 26. So you will see that maximum number of players are in this particular age. But it's like a complete. So the graph is basically it's like a skewed on the right side. It's like a bit right leg bigger. So it's like a right skewed graph. So on the left side, you will see a lot large number of population as compared to this. Okay. Now this is the very interesting this potential versus overall rating. What is this potential versus overall rating? So during that initial years, I think if you notice those academy players, which like nowadays a trend has been coming up in India, like under 5, under 7, under 9, under 11, under 13, so and so forth. So those underage persons have a lot many potential, but they might not have performed it overall well. But that's what that stark comparison. Let's try to see this part. So that's what we are trying to get it out of this. I think you can see this code later words. The analysis basically which we are making out of it here is basically during that initial years. If you see, so blue light blue legend is basically for overall and dark blue is basically for that potential. Overall during that initial years and that potential years there is a DAS, but as that age goes from 25 to 30, so both are getting mapped from 30 till going ahead, because your potential won't increase and you are performing same as that overall. So that's why there's like a both the lines, so they get together. But important is see this, these are the prime time, these are the prime time. So normally the players are given a more value in this like 25 to 30, or basically from this age. So looking at their potential, so looking at their potential, so this much is the potential, even though the player hasn't performed. So even though the manager is ready to buy at a particular value, but seeing its potential, seeing its potential. So that's what that normally scouts are normally looking for, those kind of the players available in the market. Now, all those analysis, I think there are tons of analysis which we can work it out, but we have done a small, basically top 20 teams with highest player average value. So this is what I wanted to look for, basically a value part of it. So that's what I have done it to value. Let's see which team has that highest value. So value basically is those where we can make a trade happening over there. So this is the we have created a basically a bar plot using your plotly there. So Juventus, if you notice, has that average trade value of 28.179. This is for their entire players. Second is basically for your Real Madrid. Third is for Barcelona, Manchester City, so on and so forth, and Chelsea way down 10, top 10 team. Okay. So basically here we have done, say for an example, if somebody has to find, say for an example, there are few teams, there are like stocks as well. So if you notice, Bayern Munich has a stock which has been traded in that Germany stock exchange, similarly for Manchester United. So on the basis of this, basically on the basis of these value of the players, so basically the stocks goes up and down during that majorly this happens majorly during that summer and that winter transaction. So you will see a lot of that trends happening over there, so which we have noticed. Basically that's how the players up and down movement prevails over there. Okay, I think, yeah. So top 20 teams with highest player overall rating. So overall rating. So here we have done overall, not that value part of it. So basically why we have taken put value and why we have taken overall. Basically this could be another target feature available. So basically why this overall. Say for an example, going ahead currently he's performing a lot better, like during like 20 years, but what will be that overall he will going to perform looking at that other features are available. So this could be then another target variable during that prediction analysis. So that's what we have taken that overall. Let's see which team has that overall potential more. So this overall, I think Juventus has an 82.28. Second is Napoli. Again, it's like both Juventus, Napoli, and Inter Milan. So this is like Italian league. Then we have a Real Madrid. AC Milan is again Italian league. FC Barcelona, PSG, Roma, and so on and so forth. Place. Okay. Now, I think this is the only which we have done it data visualization part. But the interesting thing which we wanted to see a dream team part of this. A dream team basically, say for an example, you have to create a dream team. There are two concept over here is one is a dream team, another is a fantasy team. So fantasy team basically has a some logic. Basically, say for an example, you have a like a price constraint, so and so forth. But like a top team, basically dream team, you can create it with n number of budget available or with n number of constraint with the without any constraint available. I think let's see this part. Okay, so this part basically we have taken it basically for player features, and we have related for their various positions. So these are the player features which we have seen over there: crossing, finishing, heading accuracy till goal, GF reflexes, goal. GF goalkeeper reflexes. I think yeah. Now we are trying to relate it with different positions. So let's see what all the best skills are required for being a central attacking midfield. So you require a good balance. Basically you required a good balance, you required agility. But let's see what all these positions all about. I think let's see a small before moving ahead. This is the goalkeeper. Nowadays I don't see that sweeper anytime over there. This is like a central back, so it depends on, there might be a two central backs available. This is a left back, this is a right back available. Left wing back, right wing back. So normally like Inter Milan, Antonio Conte wants to play like five at the back, so three on the back uh, for this goalkeeper, and that left wing back and right wing back, left wing back and right wing back. Defensive midfield, left midfield, right midfield, central midfield, attacking midfield. Sometimes this is also called as central attacking midfield. These all compose of your defensive part. These are all compose of your basically on your basically midfield part. This is your this is your central striker, central forward, central striker, central striker. This is SS. I think it's a super striker or I think it's a super false nine. I'm not sure. It's I think it's a 10 position. I'm not sure what it is. It's a left wing. This is a central forward, and this is a right wing. This is a right wing. So these are like basically considered for your forward. These are basically for midfield. These are basically considered for your defensive part, and this is the goalkeeper. Anyone knows how many players normally plays in football? Yeah, Vijay, go ahead. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, yeah, thanks. I think everyone awakes. Okay, yeah, 11 players. Yeah, okay. Next part is basically again there is a bit code which we have written, making basically to make a dream team out of it. Dream team. Basically, first we have find it out basically which one is the best player suited for a goal keeper. Which player is best suited for central back, which player is best suited for left back, right, this for all the playing positions. Basically we found out basically what are the basically yeah, actually these are the basically with a bit on that Python skills. Basically these are the functions basically written in that Python there. Yeah. Okay, so let's try to go through this part. I think might be I'm able to explain this. Position, player, club, basically club player. So club basically. So df underscore position, basically which position, basically dot columns. So basically df underscore positions, basically it will come. One is a central attacking midfield, cb, cdm, cf, cm, goalkeeper, gf, so on and so forth. So all these positions, so one by one, so we are trying to create a column. This is how we are trying to get all the values in the list format. We are only focusing on L0. Basically we are looking for that best player over there, and this is how we are creating this. We are also appending the name in the list along with this, basically along with that particular best rated value, means that first value. Now this is how we are relating this, basically a value with a particular position. So for that particular position, if that position whatever that you got, it's basically for that particular L. So this is how basically we are trying to insert that mean value as well. So basically mean value for each and every player, mean value for each and every position. Now we are trying to find that mean, and we are trying to find that max values. Whenever that max values of that mean matches to this, we are noted out its name, we are noting out it's basically a club, and for each and every position we are appending that position, player, club for each and every player. So this is how we have written a simple function. But let's see how to make a call for this. So basically here will require the three basically values in order to make a call for it. I think let's see this. So goalkeeper, so what all things are requires? Goalkeeper. For forward, these are the positions. For the midfield, as per that graph, defenders, this is the basically the defenders, basically these are the things. If we this basically we can add more this. Now basically position, player, club value. So basically so what is that the particular the best goalkeeper for each and every position. For best forward, so basically for best goalkeeper, best player for ls, best player for central striker, right striker, left forward, central forward, right forward, so on and so forth. So basically we have written a simple function. So let's see what's the value we got it out. So we got the values. Basically for the goalkeeper, best goalkeeper for that particular is De Gea, who normally plays from Manchester United. He's a Spanish player. Forward, basically central forward. There are two central. There are CF. Basically, is like he's a player. Previously he plays for Arsenal. Now he's been traded to Toronto. Eden Hazard. Currently, previously it's like Chelsea. Now it's been traded to Real Madrid. Jay Martinez, who plays for Atlanta United, Lionel Messi, who plays for FC Barcelona, uh, Saint Maximin, who plays for Nice, and Cristiano Ronaldo, who was traded to Juventus. So these are the players which we got best for that forward. These are the players which we got best for that midfield for each and every positions, and these are the players which we got that best for defenders. Now basically either we can make a dictionary. So here we have done just hard coded for each and every values as per that values we got, like goalkeeper, DG, and so on and so forth. Okay, now here we have written a simple function. Basically it will help you to place that players on that there. Basically, even though this data visualization is not required, data visualization is not required, but it helps to visualize better. So here we have used basically here we have created using matplotlib, and here we have annotated each and every position with that particular name for according to that positions, according to the positions. So depending on what position formation you are sending, like 442, when you are sending 442, so you have to send it label 4, label 4w and 2. So when you're creating like 5 3 2, so 5 3 2, which comes down to 10, so you have to send 5 3 and 2. So basically formation along with the labels you have to send. So let's try this how it works. Okay, now here we are trying to plot a multiple plots. see the first plot. I think it will give you a more visualized delight. I think so 4-2, basically it's 4-4-2 position, 4-4-2 position. So label 4 W. Since here we can create a multiple combinations there, so that's why we have created this. So out of defensive back players, so what all combinations? So here we can have a multiple combinations, so you can try out multiple permutations over there. Similarly for wing, so what all that available 4-4-2, and for that forward positions, for that forward positions. So here the formation is like 4-4-2. So depending on this, you can adjust your 4-4-2. Did this maximum managers, if you see, basically they are normally playing with a 4-4-2 positions. So that's that. Even at Manchester United plays for 4-4-2 positions. So that's why we have taken all those possible permutation and combinations for 4-4-2 positions. There is a one more position, 4-2-3-1. 4-2-3-1. Basically one striker, three on that attacking midfield, two on the defensive midfield, and the fourth on the backside. Then we have 4-2-3-1 position. We have 4-2-3 formation. So we have taken all that permutation and combinations available. I think let's try to plot, I think, which will give a better idea. Here one thing is a common, which is like your basically goalkeeper. So this is a one combination for that goalkeeper, 4-4-2 position. So basically M Miller, Sergio Ramos, defense midfield from Real Madrid, Jay Chileni, who plays from Juventus, Italian player, Spanish player, Pedersen, another team, Raheem Sterling, Manchester City, Nketiah, Liverpool, David Silva, Manchester City is on verge of retirement, Neymar Jr., Lionel Messi, and Eden Hazard. So these are the like 4-4-2. So this is an alternative position. Again, you can have this 4-4-2 combination. So depending on this, basically you can switch off. So all those playing positions, basically here we have 4-2-3-1. So 4-2-3-1, here it comes a specialized central striker, basically Cristiano Ronaldo. 4-2-3-1, Cristiano Ronaldo. 4-2-3-1, Cristiano Ronaldo. Everywhere, 5-4-1, again this Cristiano Ronaldo. Again, one more Chelsea player, Encante. 4-3-3, 4-3-3, 4-3-3. So this is what we call as a dream team which we have created. So this is how the managers normally look out for. So this is the small data visualization activity which we have done. Next part. So far what we have done, we have read the data, we have cleaned the data, we have done a bit on exploratory data analysis. Next part is your feature engineering part. So in feature engineering part, basically feature engineering part, since like in machine learning, categorical columns you cannot have. So basically you have to somehow you have to convert a categorical columns. Say for an example, we have a nationality. So like out of like 180 nations, maybe like 180 nations available. So if you create each and every two like a numerical values, so it would be like high cardinal values. So let's try to make a some kind of a logic basically in order to convert this. So this all things comes under your feature engineering part of it. Mainly basically here you create a new feature, or you will going to transform a categorical column into like a numerical column, because your machine learning model doesn't work on that basically on your machine on category column. I think let's see this part. So here we have come out with a separate strategies basically for this. So for nationality, basically we have done value counts. Here we have come out with a here we have come out with a functionality. Basically that's a high cardinal column. So wherever that player count is greater than 250, wherever that player count is greater than 250, we will going to mark it as a 1, otherwise we will going to mark it as a 0. So that's the player basically basically get the nationalities where that maximum players are player. So basically all those top traded companies countries like Italy, France, Brazil, Spain, Netherlands, all these countries will come under this one. Rest all those companies where that number of players which has been under this EA shortlist will count it as a 0. So this is how we have done it to one strategy. So here we have created a function, and here we are applying this. So basically this is how you're converting a categorical column. Let's see what all features are there. So this is how this important is. Now you are coming to that modeling part. You have to decide which feature you have to take into account. Name 100% we do not need this name, while let's suppose we are taking that value as a target value. So we can exclude this name. Age, definitely we have to take age into account. Nationality, it's a high cardinal, so we have done the strategy basically to convert basically 1 and 0. So 1 and 0, so those countries were getting a 250 and more, so we are marking it as 1, rest we are marking it as 0. Overall and potential, definitely we have to take into account basically while considering this while considering this value part. Club, again, not sure currently if it makes into account. If it doesn't make into account, I think we can good to drop off. Anyone, is this club has any effect on that value? Does club could have any impact on that value? No, yeah, correct. Yeah, maybe club because it's like a player choice. I think club doesn't make any this. So that's how basically your data like good understanding basically comes over here. So basically you can drop this particular feature. Now value which we have to take it as a the target. Important is this value is basically is on like in we have done that logic part. So that's a value coming out. Somehow we have to apply a logic like logarithmic function, otherwise we cannot work it out because it will be very skewed data. Wage, again we have to think, is wage is anything on the impact on that value? So value is like a total value one manager has to bought. So say for an example, maybe or may not be, but not sure. Say for an example, I have seen like Pedro has been traded now from Chelsea to a Roma. So he's going to half of the wage currently. So not sure whether that wage could be an impact on that value, so and so forth. Preferred foot, yeah, I think that's the good. I think left, right. So let's how to convert it into a 0 1 2. Let's see how to convert this part. So we have written a simple. So right we have made it as a 1, and left we have made it a 0, and we have created a one more feature, right foot. Now with this new feature available, we'll going to basically remove this particular. We'll going to remove this particular preferred foot. Okay. Now coming back to this international reputation, yes. Weak foot, yes. Skill moves, yes. Work rate. Let's see that how to tackle this work rate. Uh, Work rate. Yeah. So work rate, basically it's like first half, second half. So what we have done, basically, we have split this work rate into two part by using the splitter. We have created two features, work rate 1 and work rate 2. Work rate 1 and work rate 2. Work rate 1 and work rate 2. And later words we're going to drop this work rate. And afterwards we will going to convert like medium into 0 1 and 2, which we will see that basically a technique basically encoders in order to convert a categorical columns. Okay, let's see this part. Again, body type, again we have to come up with the logic of a body type. I think it's pretty simple, we can easily able to convert into body type. Again, yeah. uh, Positions, again positions, again as we discussed, like we can club like this is like in defense, midfield, and the forwards. So basically we can create a simple like a kind of a positions. So here goalkeeper is goalkeeper, all this clubbed into a df. We have converted into defensive midfield, we have converted into midfield, we have attacking midfield, we have converted into st. So basically here you can club basically as per your how many basically you have to make. So basically it will going to make a simple positions basically, rather than having a multiple, it will add that cardinality part of it. Basically everything is basically giving the same information. Basically you can club them into a one feature. So this is how we have created a new feature. Once this feature is available, we're going to drop this position altogether. Okay, let's see what all things are remaining. So yeah. So joined, we have done that this part joined, again year of join. If it is making any this, I think this is how we can do that time analysis. Contract valid until, again we can do a time analysis, basically date time analysis basically. Height and weight, I think that's what we have to take into account. All these are like basically all these are basically are like numerical columns, leaving that release clause. release clause, basically again this feature which we can drop off basically for calculating that value. Even year we can drop off. Okay, I think let's see this part. Okay, so we are dropping off name, nationality, club, wage, preferred food, work rate, position, joined, contract valid until release clause in the year. Access is equals to 1, in place is equals to true. In place is equals to true. So FIFA dot head, let's see that this. Now this is the features are available. Age, overall, potential, value, this would be our target value, special, international reputation, weak food, skill moves. This we have to convert basically into numerical column. Any other column which is left? Okay, so work rate 1 and work rate 2 and simple position. So we have to come out basically 4 features we have to convert into categorical into numerical. So let's see how to this. So FIFA body type dot unique. So basically there are 3 unique values are available: lean, normal and stocky. So how we have done? So lean ko kiya 0, normal is 1, stocky is 2. Basically we have converted into a dictionary and we have used dot map method in order to convert. Basically lean will be converted to 0, normal will be converted to 1, stocky will be converted to 2. Similarly for simple positions, basically we have written same dictionary, we have applied dot map method. Similarly for work rate 1, same medium high low, work rate 2 same medium high low. So basically we can create a one dictionary and we can map both of the features available. And once we have converted this, uh, basically the dropping the converted columns. Okay, just a minute. So we have done a simple position. Okay, I think let's not drop this. Okay. Okay, so we have age overall potential. Basically, so all those features we are able to convert this. All those features we are able to convert this. So all this looks good numerical wise. Okay. Now let's see what all columns are available. FIFA dot columns. Okay. Now we have to really think of what all features will help us basically in order to predict our value. Age, overall potential, yes. Special, yes. International reputation, weak foot, skill moves, body type, height, weight. So basically here LS, ST, RS, basically this we won't be requiring much. Basically this is how we can do the data visualization part. This is characteristic of basically for that this. So basically here we can ignore this part, RB till this part, and we can have that remaining features as such as it is. Okay, let's try this part. So now basically after this feature engineering part, let's do that column selection part. So what we have to do, so we have to take age, we have to take overall, we have to take potential, value we are basically focusing to the target, special, international reputation, weak foot, skill moves. I think skill moves. We have skill moves. Basically we have a body type. We have a body type. Basically we have a height, we have a weight. So we're going to ignore all these deka basically till RB part. So this is basically related to position. This is not a characteristics of a person. And basically then we will take that remaining deka part of it, remaining part of it till crossing till everything. So let's try this part. So crossing. So crossing till they can basically okay. So we have updated this feature. Okay. What is why basically since it is like a value, so we are doing that logarithmic value crossing. Okay, so let's see that distribution like a plot of this. If you notice, if you notice, so we are getting so important part in okay. Now let's see this part. So we have a features available. We have a target value available. Now we have to think whether it's a supervised or unsupervised learning. So here we have an input features available. Here we have a target available. Anyone guess what is here? We have to use supervised or unsupervised learning.
Supervised.
Yeah, Sham, correct. I think because here we have a target variable available. So here basically it's supervised learning. Now in supervised learning, we have to think basically it's a regression problem or it's a classification problem. Now in regression problem, basically it's a continuous value, and in classification values, basically it's a discrete values. So if you notice, basically what are the values are there? What are the values are there? So why these values are like infinite values are available. So here definitely we have to apply a regression. Vijay sir, I think you're correct. So basically it's a problem of supervised regression, like a problem, a supervised and regression problem. So the equation basically will become like y, which is your dependent variable, is equal to theta naught, which is your basically it's your intercept plus theta 1 x1, theta 1 x1, theta 2 x2, theta 3 x3 till number of features available. Now important part is still there are a lot many features are available. Now it's a good practice to do that feature selection part of it. Again, there is a lot many techniques are available in feature selection part. Again, please go through this. Basically in life cycle we have covered a bit of techniques in that feature selection part of it, feature selection part of it. Okay. Okay. Now, another important part is if you see the distribution pattern over here, the distribution majorly lies in between 7.5 to 17.5. These are basically like the way like the valuation of this person's basically on the lower side. Basically, if you try to create a single model for this particular, it won't work. Basically, it won't able to cover all the observation. So what we have done, basically, we are focusing on these part. If we have to focus, basically we have to create another model. So we are ignoring all these basically outliers, and basically we are focusing on this other part. So this is the small thing which we have done. So this is how we have done. So previously we started with 18,200, some like 200 observations we have missed. Because of this we have focused value greater than basically 7. So the arbitrary number we have taken. Okay, so let's see what is hex dot head, x dot shape. Okay, so we have 17,955 they have 5 observation and 49 shape. And what is my target? Basically, it's like this. Again, another thing which I forget to tell about. X is basically uh, X is basically it's your matrix having a shape, and Y is basically it's your Y is basically is a technique. Basically, is a vector. It's a vector. So if you notice, basically it's a matrix and it's a vector. It's a matrix and it's a vector. Okay, so we are good with the data set. Only thing is we had done so far feature engineering part. Now we'll move to the next section, which we call as a feature selection part. So there are lot many techniques available basically for feature selection part, but I have done it one basically using that lasso regression. I have done a bit of selection. I played a bit, but I haven't done a much on this. But let's try this how we normally do it. Okay, from a scalar dot feature selection import, select from model. Basically this will help you to select out the features from the model. There are a number of techniques available. Basically I'm using basically lasso regression technique, which is basically your L2 normalize technique in order to select out a feature. Now another thing which we haven't done so far, basically like every feature what we have currently, like 49 features are available. All this is on different scale. So again, it's a good practice to normalize each and every, so that each and every feature is on the one scale, so that we can easily do that modeling part of it. So same way, there are multiple techniques are available basically to do that normalized part, like min-max scalar, standard scalar, normalization, binarization, min-max, everything, a lot many this. So here we have tried min-max scalar. Basically, the maximum value it will make it as a 1. minimum value it will going to take as a -1, whatever that factor will be, so that factor will be introduced basically to do that in order to do that conversion part of it. So this is how we have done that normalization part of it. So this select from model, again, more thing, if you wanted to go for it, it's available under this particular video. So here we are trying lasso regression. Here we are using alpha parameter. It's a hyper parameter. Random state is equals to 42. That's a good practice to use a random state so that your development model and your production model will give you the same result. So that's what we use a random state. Alpha is a hyper parameter. Basically, it will try to bring the data model to be more stabilized. So that's the hyper parameter basically. And later words we normally tune this hyper parameters. So currently I've tried with this hyper just a arbitrary value. So here we're trying to fit this particular values. There's a get support method available. So what is this get support available? Get support. So what are those true which support this basically lasso regression in order to make it as a stable? Whatever false, so means this feature is not basically supported. So basically it's a way basically rather than using all 49, why we are working basically on feature selection, basically will notice without this basically it will take a lot of time. Basically say for an example you are working on IRCTC model, since you have a lot of features available, so you will going to get a lot of latency while getting that result. So feature selection, you reduce the features even though you will going to get a set same basically accuracy for the other part of it. So that's the purpose of a feature selection. So what we have done, get support means in order to get this, so here we will going to play with this. Only thing is how to tune this hyper parameter, that's the important, which you can find that video available. So basically get support means these are the feature which support this particular hyperparameter. So what we have done, rather than this, basically we have selected only those supported the features. So let's see what is this. So out of 49, so the total features basically which support this particular this is 40, and we are going to ignore this particular. So basically so rather than working on 49 features, now it's good that we are working on basically less number of other features. So basically we can see, so what is the accuracy we are getting with 49 and what is the accuracy we are getting with this 40. So this is the one of the technique available in order to do that feature selection. There are n number of techniques available, very good. Please do watch the video. It has a n number of techniques which we discuss over there. Okay, last part of this basically it's basically is a modeling part. Now modeling part basically let's see modeling part. First thing which we do, it's like a train test split again. So what we have done, X model, X select features. So after this, so we have one, it's like 17,955 observation. We have 40 other features available. First thing which we normally do, it's a train test split in order to build the model on the training data and in order to test the model on that test set. So train test split, test size is zero point 0.3. So zero point 0.3 of this observation will be taken as a X test. 70% of this data will be taken for the training part of it. So let's try this part. So after this conversion, so we have a 12,568 for training part, and this would be for testing part. Now we have created a simple function basically to find that basically that accuracy part of it. So basically these are the basically metrics we normally work on, that regression. Those who are familiarized with it, one is like a mean square error. Second one is a explained variance ratio. Explained variance score, basically how much it's able to get this. R2 score is 1 minus SSE divided by SST. So basically it's like these are the three metrics. So which one to take, basically that's the result is normally given from that Kaggle competition. So they sometimes require a mean square error, or they sometimes require a R2 score, or they sometimes require RMSE value, root mean square error values. So here we have created a simple function for it. Okay, now let's see. Now good practice is basically to create a pipeline. Let's see how to create a pipeline. From sklearn.pipeline import pipeline. From sklearn.linear model import lasso. Basically, there are lot many regression available. We can use a linear regression, we can use basically lasso regression, we can use elastic net, we can use a ridge, we can use a XGBoost regressor. Basically, I have tried with a lasso regression just to cover this project. Okay, so lasso from pre-processing standard scaler, basically to do that normalization part of it. Polynomial features, basically normally it won't be a linear, since there are a lot many 40 features are available. So considering it's like a polynomial features. This is how we are creating a pipeline. First, we are doing that standard scaler, that's normalize the data. Assuming the data is of that order 2, we are converting into order 1. Then we are applying that lasso. This technique is what we call as a creating a pipeline of a models. There were like many companies are there. Basically, this is an open source stack basically used for creating a pipeline in a Skyscaler. Now that model has been created, we will try to fit that model on X-train and Y-train part. I think everyone is familiarized with these steps. Then from that model, we're going to predict on that X-train part. This is Y-train predict. We are trying to plot a Y-train predict. This is for your polynomial training set. Same model we are trying to predict on X test part of it, X test part of it. And this is how we are plotting for the testing part. Let's see how this goes. So here we have done polynomial. Here we have done lasso. Before starting this, we have done that standard scaler. If you see the accuracy of your model, RMSE value, since this is an error, you want your model to give you the least error. So basically what we have done, so its root mean square error. So your the model error, so as the low the error is, the better the model is. Explained variance score, so your model is able to explain 98% of your variability of the data. R2 score, basically 1 minus SSST, basically it will give you what is it R2 score. Again, it's coming out to be tremendous 98%. So your model, whatever you are building, basically you are able to come up with a fairly stable score. If you notice, basically for your basically this is what how you have created. Basically for your residual, majorly the error is centered around 0. This is the tremendous. If you notice, basically standard deviation is just very less 0.19. On the testing part, which is very important, on that 30% which you are looking for, if your model is giving you the fairly the same or a very less than score, so your model is almost giving you the same kind of a score, basically I think your model is best fit for this particular part, because it's almost giving this the same score. RMSE part, explained variance score, R2 score, this is you have tried it on the test score. Now this is you have tried this. So basically whatever the model is been there, now it's ready for your deployment part. So this is what you normally work it out on your basically on your research environment. Now this is model is ready. Basically you will going to serialize this object and you will going to deploy it on your production server. So where we started with, so we started with the data set, understanding of a data set. We have done a data cleaning activity. We have done exploratory data analysis. Afterwards, we switched to a feature engineering part of it. Feature engineering part of it, where it is, feature engineering part of it. So this is the, we have done feature engineering part. Next step in your modeling is your feature selection part of it. Feature selection means how to select this. I think it's one of the good technique to get feature selection. Basically, it will reduce that imputation time. It will reduce that imputation time. So this is what we do it in a feature selection part. So this is your feature selection part. Last part is your modeling part. Last part is your modeling. So the steps which we have done, we have completed everything on that research environment. So this completes your total what basically we're trying to cover up in this meetup session. Anyone has any questions for me? This video will be available under this YouTube channel. Please everyone subscribe this so that and do click this bell, this notification, so that you will going to get update. So hopefully by tomorrow we'll upload this session. We'll upload this particular session.
Nitish, this is which my kind of a model we are using? Nothing but a feature selection.
So
It's
feature selection,
exactly
last, yeah. So for feature selection, we are using Lasso. So there are,
Lasso.
yeah. So
Okay.
Lasso model has been used for basically it's a L2 normalize model for feature selection part of it.
In this things entire this football data. First thing is we are loading the data. Nothing but
Correct.
the next is nothing but a data cleaning.
Correct.
What is the third one? And data exploring. Right? Data exploring. Right?
EDA, exploratory data analysis.
Okay. EDA. Then
Then
after
we have a feature engineering.
yes, yeah, feature selection. In the feature
Then
selection, we are using the Lasso model. I mean, whichever the algorithm we want, that is a Lasso model, right?
correct. And then in modeling again, we are trying out with the same Lasso model. But here you can try it more advanced, like gradient boosting regression. Since basically it will be too heavy for this session, so we have taken a regularized simple model like Lasso regression. Again, for feature selection as well as modeling part, we have taken the same model.
Okay, okay. The feature selection means we call it in a modeling, right? Right.
Feature selection is basically since we started with the 49, so we started with 89 features in feature selection. In feature engineering we come up with the 49. Feature selection is to select a subset of features. Basically it will improve the low latency part of it, since you want. So what you have done in your research, you come up with this particular model. What you will going to do, you will going to serialize this model and you will deploy in that production environment. Once that model is ready, so you will only use that dot predict method on that new data. What you want, basically your model to give the result on low latency time. So low latency time, basically since on the testing data you have to do all the steps over there. Since the feature set is small, then it's basically it will give you the result on that low latency time. So that's what the feature purpose of that feature selection part of it. So same, think of your IRCTC. You want it like not now, but yeah, basically when you're ever you're booking up a ticket, basically you want that result to come as fast as possible. So there basically feature selection basically reduces the latency and your model become more robust.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. So let's suppose if it is not matched, I know some theoretical knowledge. If it is not matched in the model, nothing but we need to rerun the reiterating the things here.
Yes.
Let's
Yes.
suppose.
Yes.
Okay. So what exactly the feature engineering versus feature selection? Can you please explain the
Yeah,
feature engineering?
yeah. So feature selection is basically, say for an example, you have, so going ahead we'll see this part. So feature engineering, basically here you normally convert basically your categorical column to your numerical column. Basically you come up if you have a date time field available, so basically you going to convert into a date, month, year. So you do basically going to convert, say for an example, you have a text column available, so you come up with basically a technique basically in order to convert into length of those characters. Say for an example, you have a latitude and longitudes available, so you're going to convert basically to get a distance in direction out of this latitude. So you normally create a lot many features from that existing one. So this
Okay,
is what we call as a feature engineering part of it. Feature
got it.
selection is
Nothing but
yeah.
data level, some kind of a calculation. Let's suppose, as you said, right, date time
Not
to
this,
date.
basically here your all your basically your data analysis skills come over here. The more you have an understanding, the more you better do that feature engineering part of it. Say for an example, you are reading from that x-rays or like COVID-19 basically, so you have to come a lot many features. Until unless you have a knowledge of the data set, you can't come up those additional features over there. Okay. uh, Anyone has any questions?